What's up, guys? As you can see, Super Broly is here. Pretty excited for this character. I think he seems like he's going to be a lot of fun. And today we're going to run through basically the basics of the character. So if you're jumping online with him today, you'll at least have somewhere to start in terms of what his moves do, and then some basic combos. So let's start things off running through his special moves. He actually doesn't have very many. He has a pretty short kit, but a lot of his moves will have different effects based on what button you press. So for example, 214 quarter circle back plus light is his standard command throw. This is 24 frames, which coincidentally is the same as the old Broly. His medium command throw is 24 frames. And just like old Broly, you can combo off this in the corner, so that's cool. Or you can combo off it mid-screen with a vanish. So this seems like this will be your standard mix-up tool with this character. Interestingly enough, if you do the same move with the medium button, you get an anti-air throw. So, you know, if you scope the opponent jumping and you want to punish it, there you go. Not bad. And once again, you can combo off this with vanish, or in the corner, you can just combo off it normally. The heavy version is the same amount of startup frames as the light grab, but you can see it does have some nice range here. He will jump forward a little bit, and you can combo off this meterless, which is nice. You know, you can go straight into your auto combo or whatever. So that's pretty cool. So that is his standard sort of quarter circle back command grab. He has one other grab here, which is going to be quarter circle back key blast. And look at this, 16 frames startup. That's got to be like one of the fastest command throws in the game. And you can combo off it meterless by super dashing. So I'm sure you're all thinking this seems busted. But unfortunately, just like base Vegeta, it has the big downside that if the opponent is crouching, you can't hit him with this. So I do think that this move has some use as like a mix-up tool. So like in situations where you might want to do like empty jump low, instead you can do empty jump this throw, and they'll block standing, and then you can combo off it. But I think overall, this is mostly just going to be used in combos. A cool thing about it is this throw can OTG, just like base Vegeta. And if you haven't done too much damage beforehand, you will be able to combo off it, or you can go into like vanish or something like that. So interesting move. It seems a little broken at first, but that downside of whiffing on crouchers is pretty huge. So I don't know how much you'll be going to this. And actually, he does have one other command throw that I forgot to mention. Forward plus heavy is the headbutt. And the range on this is outrageous. It is very slow, nearly a full half second of startup, but long range, and you can combo off it meterless, so that's pretty cool. And like with assists, I think you can probably do some pretty crazy stuff. Get full combos started, so it is slow, but it seems useful regardless, and I think you'll probably end up using this a decent amount, because that range is pretty crazy. Other special moves we've got here. Quarter circle forward plus key blast. He throws this angled key blast. I don't really know how useful this is. I mean, I guess it's a nice angle for catching people jumping back. Kind of similar to GT's ground beam. So that's cool. And the other thing this move does is if you connect with it up close, you'll go into this little animation, knock him down. So after this, you know, you can go into a super. Or if you're really good, it is kind of hard timing. But if you do it just right, you can OTG into this command throw off that. And then, you know, the party really gets started. So that's pretty cool. So that move definitely will have some use as a combo tool, I think. I'm not exactly sure what is optimal to combo off of that, but it seems pretty cool. He cannot do this quarter circle forward key blast move in the air. You just get a normal key blast. This is what his air key blast looks like. It's kind of interesting. He throws it down at this angle. This does beat Super Dash, which is kind of sick. Like, if you're jumping back and they're like, okay, time to Super Dash. Boom, you can hit him like that. So that's pretty amazing, actually. So he does kind of have these two angles of anti-Super Dash projectiles. I don't know if I mentioned this, but his quarter circle forward S will beat Super Dash as well. So that's pretty sweet. His ground Ki Blast is like fine. I don't really think that this is that good, but it's serviceable. Similar to someone like, I don't know, Blue Vegeta or something. Or maybe Base Vegeta. And then if you press down and Ki Blast, he shoots a beam. Which, it's really slow. It's kind of like a Cooler / Yamcha beam. 36 frames of startup. Let's see how much Yamcha's is. 32, so it's even slower than Yamcha's, if you can believe that. But again, this will beat Super Dashes too. So his projectile kit seems pretty good at countering Super Dashes, but maybe like not amazing at covering screen space. But still, pretty cool projectiles going on for this character. Speaking of which, he has one other special move that we can talk about here, which is this sort of dunk. This power dunk move. So this, you can do it in the ground or in the air, and you can see it creates a little shockwave, and the shockwave can hit people. Light version has kind of a short shockwave, but medium version goes full screen. So that's pretty cool. You might be able to catch people off guard with this if they're not jumping. Again, similar to Cooler, he has a move kind of like this with his quarter circle back S. And this also has some pretty good combo applications. If you combo into this in the corner, you get a wall bounce, so then you can start getting some cool combos off that. So that's pretty neat, and this is also his assist. So you can see he just kind of dunks on you, and the little shockwave comes out. And it is the medium version, so it will go full screen. So that's kind of cool. This might end up being pretty useful, and at the very least, you know, you can like use it for block strings and stuff. So decent assist, it seems like. We'll have to wait and see if there's anything really cool that you can do with this. But so far, it just seems pretty decent to me. So that's all his special moves. Again, he doesn't have that many of them. He just has the dunk. He has the throw, which has these 3 different versions. He's got the throw that OTGs and Whipsaw Crouchers. And then he's got this angled beam. So that's all his special moves. Let's move on to his supers. He has 3 of them. Well, I guess actually he has 4 of them. So ground level 1. He does this sort of Psycho Crusher deal at you. And if you're Z changing into the character, that is the super that you're going to get. If you do in the air, you actually get a slightly different super here. Now, if you press buttons, you can do follow-up attacks to this super out of the air. So you will kind of have to see where you are relative to your opponent when you choose what direction to go in. It's kind of like Ruby Heart or MODOK in the Marvel games. They had supers kind of like this. And then afterwards, you can press light plus medium to do another 1 meter follow-up. So he can do a sort of level 2 super, for what that's worth. And then he has an alternate super here. If you do sort of the alternate level 1 input, he'll blast you with all these spheres. So this seems really cool. It kind of reminds me of like Zamasu, his Blades of Judgment super. But there is one big downside to this, which is that so the opponent is blocking it. You might think like, okay, I'm going to get some sick pressure because they're stuck blocking these falling Ki Blasts, but problem is they can super dash you out of this. So you do have to be careful about that. You can get punished big time if they block it. He can do some pretty darn sick combo tricks using this super. Depending on like sort of the setup and stuff, you can combo off it. But do note that you are going to be subject to the massive scaling that comes now when you combo off of most level 1s. You can see this level 3 did like 300 damage. But it's still pretty neat, and, you know, obviously you can just, like, go into Snap or something off of this level 1, so that's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. And it does seem like interesting combos will kind of be the primary use of his alternate level 1, but it's possible you can do some setups with it, like maybe combine it with an assist, force them to block the orbs, and then, you know, mix them up while they're blocking, so that could be cool. And then finally, his level 3, like I mentioned, definitely one of the coolest looking level 3s in the game. I mean, this is so godlike. So, you know, pretty standard. You can combo into it off of basically everything, like most level 3s. But now you can see that his armor's blown off. You guys probably know about this if you've been paying attention to the pre-release footage of the character. So now, after you land his level 3, all his damage is going to be buffed. So let's just see, like, if we do a basic auto combo here. We did 2907 with the armor blown off. But if we don't have that, we just did 2770. So pretty much all his attacks will have like a very slightly increased damage after you land the level 3 once, which is nice, but I don't think it's something that you should like really focus your team around. Like, the first thing I gotta do is land that level 3 so I can do the real damage. I don't really think that's gonna be too big of a concern, because he does do a ton of damage regardless. Like, you're just gonna be doing a ton of damage, especially when you get in the corner. That's kind of seems to be Broly's forte, is corner combos. I'll show you a little bit right now. Mid-screen, his B&Bs are fairly limited. It's important to talk about his air down heavy, which is very interesting and unique. His air down heavy is actually a throw. So you can see here, if we combo into this, now we can super dash after it, but you won't be able to get a sliding knockdown off of that without spending meter or using an assist or something like that. But in the corner, his options will open up a lot. You can do combos into this air down heavy, into S, and the dunk, call an assist, combo off it, stuff like that. So I'll show you kind of the best corner combo that I've done so far with Broly. I know I'm not like super optimized yet, so there's a lot more damage we can do. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention, he can do 4 2Ms. Is this sick or what? And with assists, you can do 4 more. So that's pretty cool, but an important thing to note is there is a big gap between those 2Ms. So if the opponent is mashing, you will be able to get hit there. Not a tight block string at all. So definitely don't go doing this unless you're hitting with it. Generally better to do 2M, 5M, which is a tight block string. He actually has pretty good tight block strings, it seems like, with, you can see all this is tight. So unlike Gogeta, I kind of feel like one problem that Gogeta kind of has is his block strings are pretty gappy. That does not seem to be the case for Super Broly. But anyway, the corner combo I've been doing looks like this. Pretty nice damage for just 1 meter, so that's cool, but I know this can be optimized a lot more. I've seen some really cool stuff with people comboing into his jump S and then super dashing afterwards, so there is a lot of potential with this character's combos. I think he's definitely got a lot of TOD potential in particular. I don't have any figured out yet, but I know they exist. I've seen them on Twitter. Alright, boys, and I almost forgot. I figured you might want to see the new dramatic finish that Gogeta can do against Broly. You have to be on this stage, Namek destroyed, and this is what it looks like. I'll hide my face so you can see the whole thing in its full glory here. Well, that was pretty sick, huh? I mean, it's like we just watched a whole movie right there. That's godlike. So I'm really excited to continue learning everything that Super Broly can do. I think if you like command throw characters, if you like characters where you call out the opponent, you have the read on exactly what they're going to do, and you get that big damage punish, he's going to be the character for you. So I'm going to be streaming him later today, 5 o'clock Eastern. Be sure to stop by if you want to see some online matches with this character, and I'll definitely have more Dragon Ball Super Broly videos coming in the future. So make sure to stick around and sub if you're not already, and thank you so much for watching, guys. I will see you in the next one.